大家好，欢迎来到 Anime Toko Podcast. I am your host, Yume, and in this podcast, I will be going over what Chinese animations I am currently watching. Before we get started, there are a few things I want to address. For those that don't know, Donghua means cartoon general in Chinese, and I see it has been a popularized term to refer to Chinese animation, like how we call Japanese animation anime. Anime just means cartoon in Japanese too. There are other terms that people might use to refer to Chinese animations that you guys might have heard of, such as Dongman and Guoman. Guoman being more specific terms referring to Chinese animation. I just want to let you guys know these terms because I might use it throughout this video or throughout my other Donghua talk videos, and they're just ways for me to refer back to saying, this show or this Chinese animation. Next on our list is that I just want to go over some news and updates. For those that don't know yet, 7 Seas Entertainment will publish all of MXTX, which is known as Mo Shan Tong Xiu's novels. The novels are The Scum Villain Self-Serving System, which in Chinese is 人诈反派自救系统, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, 末道主席, and Heaven Official's Blessing, which is 天棍赐福. I am surprised that they're getting English edition because I never thought Chinese BL novels will ever get a translated or English edition. You can pre-order it now. I pre-ordered mine already, and I can't wait to receive it in December's or the first edition. And I'm looking forward to getting the rest the upcoming year. If you're looking to pre-order yours, you can go to 7seas.may.com. All 3 books are listed on there, and under each book, there will be retailer listed under it of who's selling, like Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Right Stuff Anime. I would go through every single one of those links and see which one ships to your country and which one has the best price, because I do notice some retailers sell the book cheaper than the other. I'm sure you guys want to buy at the best deal, so double check the pricing on there for each retailer, making sure they ship to your country too. Volume 2 is also up for pre-order. For Heaven Official Blessing fans, I'm sure many have saw Heaven Official Blessing is getting a live action TV show or drama, and I see some pictures and some comments on social media. I'm a bit nervous about it. I hope the director and the production team, they will do their best to make the show amazing, with whatever budget they have. Also, this is a bit unrelated to Donghua, but there's this TV series called Word of Honor that's based on a BL novel called Far Away Wanderer by Priest. That show was amazing. I loved it. It went beyond my expectation. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend it. It's really good. I don't think it will disappoint you. And then on to our next news. 魔道主席 Season 3 is coming out August 7th. It just came out for me today. By the time I release this video, it's probably a week later and I'll probably watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. And once I do, I'll give you guys a review or my thoughts on it. Tencent also have announced a lot of upcoming new shows for these upcoming months. Many big names such as Scumbag System, which is based off the Scum Villain Self-Serving System. I'm excited for Season 2. Season 1 kind of, left us hanging. The trailer looks amazing, so yeah, I'm excited. King's Avatar and the Outcast will also get a new season. There are also a lot of new shows coming. I mean, there's no set release date, but I'm gonna expect it to be releasing these upcoming months, sometimes along this year or next year. Going forward, let me talk about the 5 to 6 shows that I'm watching right now. And I'm not watching too many just because there are also a bunch of animes I'm watching on top of it. There's never enough time in the world to watch all these shows. I feel like maybe we should have more than 24 hours in a day. Okay, so the first show on the list I have is Soulland, which in Chinese is Douluo Dalu. I am on episode 167 right now. I think it's the latest episode. The producer is Tencent Penguin Pictures, animation studio is Sparkly Key Animation, and I'll be going over a summary by my anime list. Tang San is one of Tang Sek's martial art clan's most prestigious disciples and peerless in the use of hidden weapons. With high expectations, the set elders believe his future will be bright. Yet, Tangsan chooses to forsake this life at the cost of attaining the sex-forbidden lore, an action punishable by death. Tangsan, now content with his ascension knowledge, sees no reason to keep on living and jumps from Hell's Peak. But little did he know that that would not be the end of his existence. In Douluo continent, the strong prevails and the weak perish. Each person possesses an innate spirit, some of which can be cultivated and strengthened, bestowing its user with various benefits. Those who are born with such spirits can become spirit masters, a profession regarded as one of the continent's most noble. Tangsan, reincarnated into this strange world, knows only the life of a blacksmith's son. At the age of 6, he takes part in the spirit master ceremony and discovers his spirit is blue silver grass, supposedly the world's most useless spirit. In contrast, however, he possesses strong spirit power. Now, aided by the memories of his previous life as well, Tangsan's future as a spirit master is in no way bleak. Oh, okay, that's a long summary. That's actually, I think it was a much better summary than what I was given by Tencent. I think it's, pretty good. There are probably a couple of things that can be better phrased or better explained for what happened. If you guys watch episode 1, it probably explains, why he jumped off the peak better. And for those that don't know, this is actually based off a novel. There's also a manhwa adaptation. I have only read the manhwa and watched the Donghua. I watched a bit of the drama or TV series too. I think every version has slight changes for those who are, who are reading it, the novel, or reading the manhwa or watch TV series. You might notice, they are a bit different from each other. My favorite character, of course, is Tangsan. Why? Because he is mature, smart, confident. He is loyal to his family, friends, and his lover. He is especially a dedicated lover. He's someone that will die for his lover, go to war for his lover, sacrifice everything for his lover. Bill spoiler, later on, you might want to skip this ahead by a couple seconds, but something happens to his lover Xiaowu, and she turns back into a rabbit, and throughout those couple episodes while Xiaowu is a rabbit, Tangsan will take her everywhere. He will be holding a pink purplish rabbit, while he's negotiating with important people. Except when he fights, he'll make sure she's safe and everything, but you just see how much he loves her. He wouldn't want anything to happen to her. Of course, Xiaowu and Tangsan both love each other very much and are willing to sacrifice for each other and do anything for one another too. And usually, a guy like Tangsan, you expect a harem. And there are a couple girls that confess to him, but he is a dedicated lover. He makes sure he rejects them. He makes sure to make it clear to them that he will not like them. And the only girl for him is Xiaowu. The current episode or the arc that I'm on right now is the Sea God arc, where Tangsan and his team are heading to Sea God Island. You guys can watch this free on Tencent's official website, on their WeTV app, and on their official YouTube channel. Also got to mention, I really love the current opening song. It's called Break the Cocoon in English by Angela Zhang. Show on the list is Bai Yao Pu, which I am on the second season. Currently, I am on episode 3. I think if you pay for the VIP membership, you watch episode 4. The studio is Howliner Animation League. It is based off a novel, and I know there's also a manhwa. I haven't read the novel or the manhwa. I've only watched the Donghua. I think if you like animes like Natsume Yujincho or Violet Evergarden, or even that new anime Wandering Wish, The Journey of Elena, I think you'll also really like this show. They follow kind of similar format. We have our MC Tao Yao. On her journey, she will encounter different people or demons, and she will learn their stories. Most of the stories are quite depressing. Some actually kind of got me emotional and crying. And there are a couple more less depressing ones, of course, but most of them were quite emotional, I think. According to Blue's summary, Tao Yao's a doctor with a combination of an angel and demon in her character. She travels around the world with a young monk named Mo Ya. It isn't long before Gun Gun the fox, Prince Liu the snake devil, join her on her adventure. They show their skills, treat miscellaneous diseases for monsters, and also help humans along their journey. I think so. This is like a translated version of the lead summary. Hopefully it makes sense. So yeah, this is becoming one of my favorite shows right now. I think it's really interesting. I think each story is not repetitive. You know, they're each kind of unique in their own way. Some of them are relatable. Sometimes some of them are related to family. Some of them are like romance. Yeah, so if you like those kind of like, you know, Violet Evergarden, Asumi Jinto type of feel vibe show, I'll highly recommend the show. And I'm not sure if this is kind of spoiler, but maybe you want to skip a couple of seconds ahead. But I know in season 2, episode 1 and 2, we could see like Tao Yao, Liu Gongzi, and the monk. They're kind of like a family of 3. Just, you know, the way they interact with each other, the dynamic between them. You know, I know in the beginning, you know, Tao Yao was like kind of got herself lost, and then everyone was just like saying, like, do you know Tao directions? And they're just kind of like thinking about what to do together. Just the way they tease each other, the way they joke around, the way they can just kind of be comfortable with each other around. They just feel like a family, or, you know, they're just very close with each other, and that's kind of really interesting to see. The third show I'm currently watching is Tian Bao Fuyao, which is known as Legend of Exorcism. I'm on season 2. Season 1 was great. It ended in the middle of a battle, which I'm surprised, and they continue off with season 2. Currently, I'm on the case where they're like fighting the undead army. For those that don't know, it's produced by Bilibili and is by Sparkle Key Animation Studio. It is based off a novel, and there is a manhwa you could read. It is based off a BL novel, so you guys will see some shifts going on. And even though it's not, you know, straightforwardly said in the show, you can probably start thinking of who's with who. I have read a bit of the manhwa, and I have only watched the animation, so I'm not sure how well it's following along the novel or not. I know it's completed already, like a couple of days ago. I'm still on episode 11, so I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind, which I'll finish watching it this week. And according to summary by Bilibili, in Tian Bao era of Tang Dynasty, demons were lurking around. Young Hongjun and Jinglong formed a sorcerer team to fight demons. They unveil the truth step by step together and expose the demons' conspiracy before peace was eventually brought to the world. And just in case, for those that don't know, the sorcerer's team has more than 2 people. It's not just Jinglong and Hongjun. There are actually other members. Each member has a very interesting background. Season 1 didn't go or dive into much about them. We do learn a little bit about, you know, where they're from, who they are. Looking at season 2, it seems like we will learn more about each of them throughout the series. Season 2 focused more on Mo Yurgen and him looking for a white deer, which I'm not gonna spoil who the white deer is. And the whole sorcerer's team, you know, like everyone in the team is, they get along really well and they work really well with each other, so they have really interesting dynamic going on too. And also the animation looks really good. You can really tell by looking at the details of their clothes and just scenery and everything. It's really beautiful. You can watch the show on Bilibili, their official website, or you could watch it on Bilibili's official YouTube channel now. And the 4th show on the list is Epic of Divinity Light, which in Chinese is known as Dinghai Fusheng Lu. Produced by Bilibili, and the studio is Shanghai Folk Film and TV Culture Investment. It is a prequel or story that happened before Tian Bao Fuyao Lu. You don't have to have watched this show to watch Tian Bao Fuyao. This show does feel worthy of a Heartland right now. I'm only episode 2, so I can't say much about it. But I know Tian Bao Fuyao does refers to some stuff here, but they do explain it, so you don't have to watch this show to watch that show. And again, it is based off a BL novel, so you can definitely see some shifts happening. And according to Bilibili's summary, centuries ago, the land of China was full of magical spirits. Those who could utilize the power of spirits were called sorcerers. Their duty was to prevent the great Diablo, a demon show once every millennium, from plaguing the world. In Han Dynasty, however, in a catastrophe known as the Oblivion, all magical spirits vanished overnight. Having lost their power as sorcerers became a thing in the past. Later, during the incessant war between the Qing and the Jin kingdom, the resentful spirit of those who die in vain become the nutrition, triggering the revival of the great Diablo. In order to stop the demon, Chengxing, the last surviving sorceress, starts a journey with Lamp of the Heart, a magical artifact that lives in his soul. He is to travel to Shangyangse to find Shangshu, who is destined to join him to expel the demon. So far, as I've said, I've only watched up to episode 2. Animation-wise, it is different from Tian Bao Fuyao, so you will see some contrast in the animation. It's still pretty good. Our main character, or our MC, Chengxing, he's just like very adorable. Just the way he interacts, the way he expresses himself. You can totally see, he's kind of naive, but he's just very cute. There's this other main character. His name is Shangshu. We didn't really see him interact with anyone yet, but he is introduced in episode 1. We just didn't see him, talk to anyone or him really, interacting with our main character. Episode 2, we kind of did see him action, so with how he acted, he seemed like kind of rough, maybe on tsundere, kind of cool type character. Spoiler, if you don't want to know, you can skip ahead like a couple of seconds. Later, Chengxing gonna find this puppy and he's gonna name it Shangshu. It's just very adorable. And Shangshu was kind of mean to Chengxing when he left him out in the open like that. I was like, oh. But later on, they meet back up, I'm pretty sure, based off the preview of episode 3 I saw. We also did get introduced to this other character, Feng Qingjun, which Chengxing gonna meet. He seems very nice. I don't think he's a bad person. Hopefully he's not. Currently, it looks like we're going to be dealing with the undead again. It's kind of funny because we're dealing with in Tian Bao Fuyao too. And of course, you can watch this on Bilibili's website or Bilibili's YouTube channel. The next show is The Island of Siliang. Okay, and according to summary that I got from VTV or Tencent, tells a story about the mysterious love between a mortal boy from the fairyland and a mortal girl, which is full of traps and danger. Which doesn't tell much, really. I read that summary and I was like, so are we getting like a romance show? Which, so far I'm like in episode 5 and I barely see any romance. A more accurate summary of what I have watched so far is that there's this island. It's a place where these exiled gods or immortals are sent because they did something wrong. On that island, there's like a barrier, a spell, and they can't leave the island easily. And while they're on the island, those gods or mortals will become like normal humans. They'll grow old and they'll get sick. And there's this saying or belief that every 500 years, there's a Sam or way that the exiled gods or descendants can return to heaven. And this show we follow our MC girl Tu Li and her MC boy Jing Xuan. And they're in the start, their parents were doing this ritual hoping to get out of this island, and it didn't go as planned. I'm assuming they didn't know because they kind of killed some villagers along the way because villagers cannot touch the seawater or something. And and the mom saw what was happening, and then she kind of killed herself. She jumped off this cliff because she doesn't want to obtain freedom this way by sacrificing so many people. The dad saw her jump, so the dad ran after her and he fell off the cliff. The Tuli and Jingxun saw the parents fall off the cliff, so they went running after them. Jingxun fell off the cliff too. Tuli's trip, I remember, and so she kind of held back and she just watched her loved one die in her eye, which is kind of sad. Her must have been told the parents are dead. Jingxun got saved by someone on the island, not to spoil who, but yeah, he's fine, and maybe the romance in the summer will be between Tuli and Jingxun, since they're not blood related. Tuli is actually a mortal human. She was adopted or taken in by Jingxun's parents. And the story kind of more like detective story really as I'm watching. I'm trying to solve what happened to your parents because it seems like someone was using them or behind what the dad was doing. And they're also trying to find ways to get out the island. Overall, the show is quite interesting. If you like those detective type shows or mystery and suspense type stories, I think the show is worth checking out. The animation is also beautiful. You can check out the show on Tencent's official website or WeTV, but depending on your region. I don't think there is official English sub yet, but I do know there's a fan sub floating around if you need it. Next on the list, we have Carp Reborn, which in Chinese is Yuan. I'm on the second season right now. And here's a summary from my anime list, because I think that summary makes the most sense, or best describe the show, I think, out of all other summaries I found. Special Forces Wangshan traveled to the Soul World and was possessed by the waste carp Yuan soul, becoming a veritable waste person in the Soul World. Wangshan used the knowledge he learned in the world of master spirits like Yuan to pass the battles, and even found a way to evolve the waste carp Yuan soul. The sparrow becomes a phoenix and the carp leaps to the dragon gate. So this show, I know there is a manhwa version of it. I haven't checked it out yet. I only watched the animated series. You can watch it on Bilibili or their official YouTube channel. I am currently on episode 6 of season 2. A little bit of my thoughts when I watched season 1, because it is an isekai type show. He was like a special force, kind of like for the army or something, and he just isekai to this cultivation type world with his gears, guns and bombs and stuff like that. So he gets to use them in the cultivation world, which is pretty interesting, I guess. At first I thought this might be a typical isekai manhwa type story, and it might be kind of cliche because there are many similar type of isekai manhwas out there, and this show managed to keep my attention throughout the show. It has very interesting side characters and supporting characters. It kept me guessing, who is the big mastermind throughout the show? Who will be the biggest villain that Wang Shan need to fight? And I really did enjoy it. I enjoy all the characters, and looking forward to where the plot will take us. Another interesting thing is that our MC, he doesn't come to this world being I'm the strongest person, I'm super powerful. I mean, he does have a special power, and he will probably be the strongest later on in the future as his carp evolves, but it takes time. So he gotta come to this world kind of doesn't use the power. Of course, he catch on really quickly. But what really stands out is that he beat his opponent, through strategizing, by outsmarting them, which I mean most OP MCs are. But just the way he defeats them, the way he uses modern weapons too, the guns and the bombs in this cultivation world is kind of interesting. And he's also very loyal to his friends and people close to him. If you hurt anyone dear to him, he will get rid of you. If you try to kill him, he will he will get back at you. You know, he will fight. And characters like him, we can expect, you know, many girls will like him. There's definitely a couple of girls over to start liking him. Not sure what become of here, might be, not surprised. And the last show on my list that I'm currently watching is A Will Eternal, which is一念永恒, which the animation studio is BC made, and it's the same studio that made Modao Jushi and the King's Avatar. So you will definitely see some characters where you will be like, that character looks familiar to you. And I love BC's Maze art actually. I thought Modao Jushi's art animation looked great. And similar to Modao Jushi, it is in a cultivation type setting, a cultivation type plot. So the summary by my anime list, which I think I got from a novel, is A Will Eternal tells the tale of Bai Yao Pu, an endearing but exasperating young man who is driven primarily by his fear of death and desire to live forever, but who deeply values friendship and family. I guess that's an alright summary for it. You can check out the show on Tencent's official website. I don't think there's official English stuff for it. There is fans that floating around for those that do need it. The show is completed, but I'm not done watching it yet. I'm like on episode 43 or like 44, and there's a total of 52 episodes. Once I'm done, I'll let you guys know what my overall thought of the show is. But so far it's pretty good, pretty interesting story. The fights are good, and as I said, the animation is done by the same studio that did Modao Jushi. So character design, animation, looks good to me. The opening and the background music are also good too. I really like the opening song. Our main character, or MC, Bai Yao Pu, is very lucky. This kind of spoiler, so you might want to skip like maybe a minute ahead. But I'll tell you this: if he falls down a cliff, or if he somehow falls down a volcano or cave, or gets deeply injured, you can expect him to be totally fine. Each time he like fall down a cliff or get pushed off a cliff, he comes back stronger. Because somehow down there he will find some magical manuscript or cultivation technique, and he'll or even magical bees, hint, and he will somehow come back more OP. So basically, what doesn't kill him makes him stronger. And of course, our MC will build a harem. And spoiler, you might want to skip ahead if you do not want to be spoiled, because this is what I got, or what I read from the comments from the novel, is that he will get more than one wife, which is pretty normal in these type of settings. What stood out for me about his romantic relationships in the Chinese animation is that some of them didn't really make sense to me. Like some of the girls he met, I kind of see the spark, I kind of see, why she fell for him, see the development between them. But some of them just happen really fast. And there's nothing wrong with love at first sight, but it wasn't. Most time girls start out hating him and then falling for him. But then, I just didn't see that, falling for him deeply type thing. It's like, you guys barely know each other. Maybe they fought together once in a really, life and death situation, but they weren't even fighting together, I felt like. Maybe in the novel, they went more in depth about them and exploring more about their relationship development, while in the Chinese animation, they kind of speed through it. I haven't read the novel, so I can't say much about that. Another thing where this show kind of stands out is our MC. He's quite shameless. Of course, he starts out weak, but when he's facing an enemy that he can't beat, he doesn't mind acting cowardly or begging for his life. He would beg for mercy. He'll do whatever he can to live. And as he gets stronger, he still acts kind of shameless. He will use kind of like underhanded methods to defeat his opponent, like not what usually upright, morally right heroes would use to defeat their opponents. And he'll be arrogant and prideful about it, saying, look what I did, I was amazing, even though he defeated them using kind of like sometimes dirty tricks. But he's still loyal to his families and friends. He will do what he can to protect them. If anyone hurts them, he'll get back at them. He still have those type of traits. You guys will see it, you guys will watch it. I think it's a pretty interesting show. You like some good action battle, some comedy. This show, you might want to check it out. I think that's about all the shows that I'm currently watching. Some shows that are kind of put on pause or I'm planning to watch once I'm done with a couple of these shows that are kind of wrapping up, which is which is also known as Fairyland Season 5. I watched the last couple seasons. It's actually pretty interesting. I'll talk more about it once I start Season 5. Next one is 望这神主, which is the Lord of the Universe. I stopped around episode 60. I think it's episode 100 something right now, so I'm quite behind. You catch up on that. There's also a new one called The Defective. It's known as 长期评, which is also on Bilibili and it's on Funimation. I haven't watched that yet. We'll take a look at it soon. The next one on the list is 少年歌星. I watched season 1, so I'm starting season 2 because season 1 did a pretty good job. I really like all the characters. The story was interesting. I'll talk more about it once I start that show too. I think there's also Spirit Sword Sovereign. I stopped around like episode 60 something. There's over like 100 episodes right now. Quite behind on that too. And this other one I'm also very behind is Fox Spirit Matchmaker. I stopped around season 8. Right now I think we're on season 10 or 11. So there's a lot of shows that I'm still need to catch up on, and I probably be starting more shows because there's a lot of great Chinese animations or Donghua starting. So yeah, I'll probably be a bit more picky about what I'll be watching now, since there are a lot of great animes and great Chinese animations or guoma that will be coming out. I am excited for many of the shows on Tencent's lineup, and I can't wait for the release date. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I mispronounced anything wrong in the video, whether in English or Chinese. I'll definitely do better on that. See you guys all in our next podcast. Hit the like and subscribe button below if you enjoyed our video. Thank you very much and see you guys soon. Bye.